So firstly, I know this is a pretty big crowd, but I'm reaching out to anyone who wants to answer. Do you guys have anything you think we should talk about EarthMC politics? If so, raise your hand. It's the button that says request to be a speaker or something. Okay, apparently not. So, anyways, one person here. Today we Today we are going to be talking about a bunch of stuff that's been in the news recently, as such as a bunch of EarthMCQ hackers. It's crazy.
I mean, I haven't heard much about these Q hackers.
It's
To be fair, I haven't been on long, so
well, I think it's crazy that people are like, what's the one place I should hack? Oh, I know, the Q. Because if they can hack, granted, they're probably using a client, but if they can hack, they should, hack past the Q and, wait until they're in the server to hack. Right?
I mean, most people are gonna hack in PvP anyways. That's just how it is. People want to seem better than everyone else, and you can't change that. Obviously, they're going to hell no matter what, but
Yeah. They get, because I recorded two, I've also recorded a third one, I just haven't posted it yet, of people hacking in the queue, and it's the most obvious stuff ever. They're crouching, but going super fast, they're flying, and it's just the thought process, really, you'd think they're in charge of, insert funny joke here.
I mean, I don't know, man. It's definitely interesting to think about how people, just want to hack because they think they're cool or something like that, but they're not. To be honest here, they're just stupid.
They're like the average 2B2T player. Oh.
Yeah, pretty much, stupid.
What else has there been recently? Because I've noticed this week there hasn't been a bunch of stuff happening.
Well, we just had the coup in Japan, the coup d'etat recently.
I didn't hear about that.
Well, I don't know what happened, but I think I don't know, honestly. That's all I've heard about it.
I don't know what happened, but I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Let me get some information quickly.
And while you do that, I guess we could talk about Beaverman, Ian Space 71, and Cobb Lobster.
So I think. Oh. Well, yeah, 1 minute. So basically, apparently, so they launched a freaking investigation in their crown prince, and they gathered. I don't know what they call it. I don't care, honestly, because Japan sucks. But it's just why? I think it's so dumb. And then the stupid Japanese YouTuber nation supported their conflict, but whoever owns the nation, the main nation controls it basically. You may set up a democracy or something, but in the end, whoever owns the nation owns it all and rules.
Again,
so go ahead.
People aren't gonna move around the capital or give away mayorship of the capital just because of an election.
Exactly. No, that's dumb. It's tedious, and depending on I know in your country of Jefferson, they have a monthly election, or used to at least.
Well,
and that's tedious because then that's. Yeah, go ahead.
They even abolished the Republic recently because of how because they kept on. So what they would do is they would elect the council, and then the council would, I don't know, do something pull down their pants, and then whoever was grossed out the least became commander or something like that. And
yeah,
it was ridiculous because there were, first of all, the commander, as they called him, wasn't even elected. And then
yeah, he was just basically
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
And for my little time, for when I was in Jefferson and Boulder City a while back, uh, the elections weren't really that fair either because they didn't have term limits, and I get like sometimes it's hard to put term limits down, but like it made it so
especially in EMC where like there's not a bunch of players coming in and out.
Yeah, so the same people over and over again would get elected because they're super popular, or they just had the right kind of like inside knowledge of the government, so they could rig it in their way. And overall, I just left Jefferson over that and moved to Minnesota, which kind of is the same thing, but it's a little more interesting because the past two elections, we've had two new presidents come in and out of office, so it's definitely way better in Minnesota, in my opinion. But
I think that's part of the reason why they made it a monarchy. Also, I don't know if you heard about this, but there's a bit of a controversy in Jefferson because they made the official religion Shintoism, which I don't know if you know, but in real life it's the official, it's the religion of Japan, where like they believe the emperor is the sun god and everything.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
And like
that sounds like something Jefferson would do.
Yeah, and the thing is, the lady who does it, granted, I have no quarrels with her, but someone from my club, which is another thing I'll talk on, always has been running for the office of like head of religion, and they've always failed because this lady keeps on getting elected. And then,
exactly. Yeah, and then I forget their name. I think it was Frog. Their name was Frog. They kept running for head diplomat, and they always won because they're powerful. They know they're popular. They know the roots. I don't think that's fair because at some point they're gonna screw up, and not many people are gonna like that. But the people that do like it are still gonna be the majority because they're very popular.
Yeah, and I was running for head diplomat actually, and we had like this. I don't know the story because it's a content creator who also is not a content creator.
I'm Magnum.
Yeah, like he says he's a content creator, but like I don't know. Maybe he like creates Among Us.
I'm pretty sure like half his things about it, if I'm being honest, because like I've seen his TikToks, I've seen his things, and they all have like thousands of followers and crap like that, and they're just all freaking like,
and it's
no videos, nothing like that. He's even verified it on TikTok, which is kind of dumb.
It's just so he was head of development, I believe, and I was expecting him to run for that again, and I noticed that there weren't a lot of big names in head of diplomacy. So I guess that one lady you're talking about, whatever, left.
Yeah, they probably quit or left or something. I don't blame them.
So I was running, and the way I thought about it is, how am I going to be able to win? Now I know I'll make a political party, and I called it like the Parliamentary Whig Club of the Parliamentary Whig Party of Jefferson, or just the Whig Party, which it's based off of the British and the American real life Whig parties.
Yeah.
And so we were the person who was also in my political party, Del Bob. He actually owns the town.
Oh yeah, Del Bobby Bo.
Yeah,
I remember him.
Every time he tries to run for like head of religion in Jefferson, he always gets beaten. It's on one hand it's kind of funny, but on the other hand I kind of feel bad for him because
I mean, the one election I was there for, I was like, you know what, this guy has some interesting ideas. He wants to like get Islam in freaking Jefferson, which is kind of funny, and I was like, you know what, I'll support this. I like the memes, but like the one person just never lost, and I looked through the past elections and just it's crazy. And I feel like also because they do the voting via reacting on Discord, it's kind of unfair because then maybe there's been some election fraud going on, because you can remove reactions and crap like that.
That's true, but on the other hand, I trust the Discord voting much more than a Google Forms that only a select amount of people can see.
Exactly, and I feel you for that. There's just no there's just no way. There's no good way, which it sucks because, I mean, democracy in EarthMC is such an interesting concept, but it never works. It just never works. All the most powerful nations are dictatorships.
Yeah, and they're also, this is another thing too, they're also all right-wing dictatorships. Like, the left-wing dictatorships are just, they're never talked about. Like, even joke communist nations are the backwaters. Like, the People's Republic of Russia is the Siberian nation, and then the Empire of Russia is the one that controls all the good land. It just gets...
Exactly. It's... I mean, I don't blame them, because that's kind of the only way you can work. It's just how EarthMC is. And if there was an effective way of voting, that'd be awesome if we could, like, come up with some way. But for now, democracies are just going to be the weaker nations, and it's kind of a sad thing, you know?
Yeah. I'm adding it up right now. There's about 24 people currently active in the EMC communist newspaper, and in the International, even less, which the International is like the communist club.
Yeah, people just don't support communism these days.
Yeah, I wonder what happened.
Oh, I wonder. So, I mean, probably half of them are jokes, and the parts that aren't just don't get that much respect, so, yeah, I mean, not surprised. I mean, most of the people coming here on EarthMC aren't the go outside, look at nature, think about life type of people. They're the type of people to stay inside
they're the
no
stereotypical Redditors.
Yeah, exactly.
They got Cheeto dust on their hands from 2005.
Yeah. Alright, let's move on, I guess.
Yeah, political parties in FMC, I think that's interesting.
Yeah, they're pretty interesting. If I were to put it in my nation of Minnesota, which I'm currently the president of, we have what, like, if I could remember correctly, we have a good solid 30 political parties, and not actually, but it's more like, let me get the exact count.
And while you're doing that,
we have 7 political parties that are all active.
Oh.
While my political party, which I pretty much ended today, so that'd be 6 still. It's crazy, because they all have differing opinions, but all kind of are the same. They're all just these cookie-cutter parties. They all have kind of the same ideals, and one's hated because, it's run by Greek Endermen,
I think he's gonna have a hard time ever winning that.
He's always had a hard time. I mean, the last election, which was in November, he tried to run, and then he did the speech thing, and that it turned into a huge debate, and he lost because it's Greek Enderman.
Yeah, what did he say in the speech? Something about like the Armenians?
Nah, something about the Turkish or something. I wasn't there. I wasn't there. So he's trying, and it's just hard when you're a Greek Enderman,
Yeah, the world wasn't made for people from
Mr. Greek. Yep. And I had some troubles too in the election. I mean, it wasn't just parties in general, because my party was definitely the clear winner in the main election, because we had 3 people like running for House that were in the party, and the rest were like independents. It was just random.
Yeah.
But the election was between me and Bryson, and it came down to 1 vote, which has happened twice in this new government, which is, not a good sign.
Yeah.
Because there's it depends. Like, you can have, like,
if you guys get one more active player that just, is always voting opposite, is gonna vote the opposite, you guys will be tied. Like that.
Exactly, and I don't believe I'll win again. I think this is just gonna be a theme. You win once, and then you never win again.
Yeah.
Because...
It's kind of like how, 1 second, Green Frog, we'll finish up this segment, then we'll get to your question.
It's a mess. And Minnesota is interesting because we have a lot of active people. I mean, we're probably the fastest growing nation, going from a population of 64 to 90, 100 in a week. So, we're definitely a fast grower.
And that's pretty hard because for some reason I don't know how they do it. SPQR is always inviting people, but most of their towns always have one person in them.
Exactly. SPQR used to be the biggest, baddest nation of them all, now the laughing stock of the world.
Yeah, like I was in Serbia. We could have taken down SPQR. It's just a bunch of stuff happened, and that's actually how I made my town, because I just had to leave the Balkans. It wasn't safe anymore because it was part of SPQR.
Yeah, it's just gonna be there forever. There's nothing you can do about it because corrupted greed will just come on every 24 days or whatever it is. Log on, get that thing quickly. Never lose his nation because it's very stupid. Anyway,
here we have Green Frog with his question. What was your question?
Okay. I thought it was like we were talking about shit. Okay.
Oh
well.
Do you have a question anyway?
Yeah, I do. Well, it's kind of going off the SPQR question. Well, in the entirety of Europe, does Europe need to be completely just reset off the map? Like,
I think this here. Can you send him back?
I think it depends on how people view Europe.
I think there's two. I think there's like, this leads off of the should EarthMC be resetted, which it like many people support, but it never will be because
it's a bad idea.
Crap. It's a bad. Well, it's not a bad idea necessarily, but like there's definitely some things like that could go wrong.
Yeah, like looking.
I understand why it won't be. Like history. There's also the problem with the people who are just no lifers are gonna get the big nations right away, like Britain crap. I don't know.
Then I'm going to get Spain.
Nice. Anyway, that kind of toes the line of just it depends. It's such a debate, and it's never going to be done because Fix is on the it shouldn't be reset side. But I think Europe should be destroyed in general because it's just so dumb over there. But like, I don't know.
As like a previous European and Serbian specifically, it was hard growing because the SPQR kept these great big ghost nations of like one player. Here's what I think should be done. There was, I saw this on like the EarthMC Reddit or something. The idea was that instead of resetting the entire map, I think it was a Beaverman video. Instead of resetting the entire map, we reset like a couple of chunks every once in a while. That way, there's still the ability to mine for new objects and all that, but you also don't have to worry about losing that history.
I also think what should happen is, because it's like most of the land's occupied by ghost towns, I think they should lower it to like, or have some system where you have to pay 1 gold a week, or like a certain amount of gold a week to keep your town alive. And I know that's gonna make people mad and crap, but like, it should be enough that if you're constantly playing or like semi-playing, that you should be able to keep your town alive. But if you're not playing at all, it's just gone.
Oh.
Because I think the current system of waiting like 42 days is kind of dumb.
Yeah, it's like
because we haven't.
Yeah,
it's like a month and a half.
That's what Crusade Craft does.
I think. It's obviously not going to be well liked, but I think in the long run, it's just going to work better overall because the towns that aren't getting active will, just disintegrate, and then the people that keep, just logging in 1.5 months later, won't be able to pay their thing, and they'll have to start being active again. So I think it's pretty.
Your computer breaks or anything?
Who cares? They're lost.
If a computer breaks, it's you should like. I'm depending on the economic situation, really, but you should be able to get it done. You should be able to get it fixed in like a month.
Yeah, and then most people have backup computers anyway, so.
And
at least that I know.
Even if they're like garbage.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if they're garbage, you just need to join the server for a little while and then.
Yeah, just for like a minute or two, get some gold, and just save the nation. I don't know. It's definitely a fine line because like the nation of Laxmania next to us, which is basically just Greek Enderman times 3. It's still around. It's still around today because the owner just keeps logging on it every 1.5 months.
What about Lasagma or whatever the?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
That nation
I don't know.
honestly
It's
should just be deleted.
honestly there's some nations that should just be deleted, but they never will be because
Why won't he sell
That's
my
how it
town
is.
to him?
because he doesn't want to. He wants to see. He wants to be a thorn in our paw forever, and it's just how it is. Anyway, thank you, Green Frog. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. And that's another thing too about the hold on one second. I'm a boomer. Okay. That's another thing too about the it's another thing. Shoot. It's like I'm getting hit with like a thought erasure ray. That's another thing too about the thing in Europe. Maybe instead of having it be like, because people are very, very protective of their gold, and if like they do stuff to take it away. So maybe instead just like silently move down the amount of time it'll take for your nation to get deleted, and then if like maybe move it down by like a week or two, and then
like wait a week, and if they get on just for that like a week early, they're lucky, and they're like, oh, all these towns are disappearing. Interesting. Yeah, and then just silently move it down to maybe like 3 weeks or 4 weeks or something that seems reasonable, Yeah,
and here's something that I think there's a fine line of the nations. Okay, most of them have big capitals, right? Because that's where everyone's going to be buying stuff.
Right.
Except for, get this, it's except for SPQR. Could you imagine another thing they've done wrong?
I don't know. I couldn't imagine,
For the longest time, they've had like 2 or 3 people in their capital, and now recently they've had it like up to 8. Whoop-de-doo. My town, which is located on the other side of my nation, has 8 people. And
exactly.
I think this is a very fine line, but I think the amount of towns you can have in your nation should be equivalent to a certain number of people that you have in your capital.
I don't think it should be capital, but I think it should be overall. So like every single town contributes like a certain amount. So like maybe 5 people is a good amount. Like you can have like if you have 5 people in your nation, you can have like 3 towns or something like that.
Yeah, because
I think because it's kind of like
I guess
claims,
that's fair too, because Canada, not Canada, because California has more population than the U.S. capital. But maybe like have it be like if you have 5 people in your capital, you can have 6 towns or something like that.
Yeah, or something that makes sense, and then overall it just be bigger.
Because
go ahead.
Because in real life, you have to have a amount of people who are loyal to you in your like core territory to be able to expand, right?
Exactly.
You see this in games like Hoi 4 and other games where you have core population, which is like the same culture.
And then you need to have manpower, but that's a different type of thing. I like this idea. Will it be implemented? Never, but it's interesting to theorize about this.
But hey, that's just the theory, okay?
Yeah. So it's definitely a fine line, and I mean, what I also think should be added is T-spawn to other towns, because I mean, for basically the entire time of EarthMC's existence, you can't TP to your nation's towns or something like that because stupid. I think what they should add is maybe if like a full like you're allowed to teleport to any town that allows you to.
Yeah,
basically.
Like if a town says you're allowed to come in, you should be allowed to come in.
Exactly, and I think that's fair. Like, if you're allied to a certain nation, they want to get to a certain town, bam, you can. But if that's not allowed, at least let other nation members teleport to other towns in their nation.
Yeah, there should be like 4 settings for TPs. Do
Yeah.
you want anyone to come in? Do you want only allies and nation members? Do you want only nation members? Or do you want no one? And then that way, you can choose and,
Yeah, exactly. Will this ever happen once again? No, because that's just how it is. Sad and stuff like that, but it's just how it is.
Green Frog coming in clutch with another question. Let's hear it. Or we could just sit in awkward silence and,
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, Twitter notifications be like. Anyways, actually, here's a legitimate question. Does EMC need something like planes or guns?
No.
Well, not guns, but not like fighter planes, but like, you know how S&P Earth had like fight planes and shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but we're not S&P Earth exactly.
And
You
That
know.
would be
Here's
cool.
a-
But that's not my actual question. That's just a question I just thought it was cool. But honestly, like, to continue on the conversation of like in spawn and stuff, how about town spawn and stuff? But how about make like town like junk like you're not able to enter certain town junk claims like let's say like you like set a claim to private or something that only you and a couple of people, so you can't even enter the chunks in the first place.
There's something called
Walking.
doors. Doors, walls.
Yeah, but what about if it's like expanded? Like if you're not allowed to come to a town, like I'd say it's a secret town, like Area 51.
But
Area
they
51
have
gets
walls.
wacky.
Yeah, they have
I've-
walls.
I've
so,
been to
you
Area
know.
51. They go crazy
They're
sometimes. There's
weird.
like a nuke over there or something.
Yeah.
Like they have.
Adding nuclear
personally-
bombs to adding nuclear bombs to Earth MC.
Personally, I think the prospect of like planes is a totally different. Because here you can just TP or T-spawn or in-spawn wherever you like, and for local travel you can just use horses, sometimes ice roads if they have it. You can just walk even. There's just I don't think there's a necessary need for planes. I mean, if they were to get rid of in-spawn altogether, then yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Another
And then the
thing-
people, and then in Earth MC, the airplane travel is basically, like a luxury. You buy to look around the nations and look at them. It's interesting.
Yeah, like it's very. I feel like Earth MC is very like World War One-ish. Like it could take place in that sort of time period because airplanes are luxury. Most people walk around on foot if they use horses. Like.
Can I join this like EMC cast, whatever this is?
You know, sure, why not?
Alright.
We'll let you. I mean, we're almost done anyway, so.
Wait, is this live stream or what?
No, we're
No.
recording it. Then I'm gonna like add some flashy sound effects like bow, zing,
Cut.
zoom.
Yeah. Add.
Also,
Get rid of
when I
stuff.
talk about
Alright.
nuclear weapons, add the nuclear alarm sound as a joke.
Actually, you could be able to do that with like note block.
You know what I think would make the game even more interesting is if they add nukes. I'm gonna be straight out here. They should add nukes because
Yeah, but,
Actually, Ian,
I think it should be like super expensive to make, like maybe even more than a nation at some point. But like
12
if a
stacks-
nation has them, fear them or something
12
like that.
stacks
And like
of gold.
yeah,
Okay,
12
just-
stacks of gold or 12 stacks of gold blocks or something crazy like that.
But
So
the-
like if a nation has it, like they can like launch it and destroy another nation, which would be
but
funny.
the thing
I think
is-
this I think this should go along with the war plugin, but that's never happening once again.
Well,
so
if the war plugin happens, I think nuclear bombs will be on like the bottom of Scap's list. Because the thing is, people in Earth MC, they don't care about the world.
Well-
They care about their nation, and if their nation gets destroyed, you know what? Your nation's getting destroyed too. But there's just
Yeah, World War Three and
World War III in Earth MC will be a lot easier to cause than World War III in real life. Because there's no. Cause
It could even
Yeah,
be caused
exactly.
by accident or something.
yeah, even if they do it by accident, they're like, we don't care, we're nuking your nation now. And there's no
Exactly.
concept of mutually assured destruction, because it's not real life.
Yeah, because we're all just stupid idiots and we don't care.
Yeah,
So basically, it's just be like fire, fire, fire,
yeah,
fire,
like
fire,
the
fire,
world,
fire.
the world
Just
would.
put a graphic of like nuclear bombs like going between different
Yeah.
fucking nations.
Yeah. I don't know. It's an interesting idea. I mean, it's one that probably won't even happen because the warp program was announced to never happen and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
So, you know.
Why is the warp plugin not happening?
Because
They're just lazy. They're just lazy.
And because it would literally like make one nation the most popular,
yeah, that is
strong.
true. Because like, if a nation like Uganda, Sizzle is very good at PvP. If
No, he's garbage. He's
well,
like actual garbage, but okay.
well, you know what? Ignoring that,
I don't know.
Okay, if a good PvP nation wanted to, they could like conquer the whole world.
Exactly,
Yeah, that's why I
but
say add a limit to like the amount of nations you can conquer at any single time. Like make.
I
you
don't
have
know.
to
It's
pay
it's
money in
definitely
order
an
to
interesting concept to warp plug-in, but it's just never happening, and it's okay. I mean, that's just how it is. Earth seems flawed. I mean, everything's flawed.
And to
do it.
wrap it,
But-
Actually,
sorry,
to
go
wrap
ahead.
it up, what about the Dynamap? The Dynamap. Like,
The
for-
Dynamap's fine.
Yeah, like I feel like the Dynamap is like it's terrifying when you just see someone being like, oh, they're probably walking to go get sand, right? Because I live in a sandy area. Then you're like, wait, they're coming to my town. Oh, they're coming to me. Time to run.
Exactly, and
What if
that's
we
why
add,
you should.
like, a
I
country?
think the Dynamap is like the most useful thing in history, or the most destructive thing in history. It depends.
Because
I mean,
if you're using it to go kill some new people, then-
using it to go kill some new people, using it to stay away from the people going to kill new people. I don't know. Once again, this is another fine line thing. I think it
about
should stay no matter what, because it's the most useful thing. I like just looking around the nations and
that
crap
is-
like that. So, you know.
What about like adding a filter for nations for the Dynamap?
Oh, I think that. I think they have it where you can see players and everything like that, so you can.
I'm talking about for the actual nation itself, not just.
Oh, like seeing a filter only for your nation, and like where.
Yes.
I don't. Nah, that's just too complicated.
Yeah, I think they couldn't get the warp plugin after they couldn't figure out how to press install and click apply. I think the chances.
Yeah, I
of
don't think they're ever gonna do that. So
Also, this video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
yes.
This video is sponsored by Siege Shadow Legends. Download the. warp
This
plugin
video is
now.
sponsored by the Minnesota government. Please come here. We need
Actually, is
people.
there sponsored? Do you ever get sponsorship deals?
My town, my channels.
No,
both of them.
nations. I'm talking about actual.
His channel's too small.
Yeah, both of them
Oh.
actually. All three of them.
All right. Well,
government-
I think that's a good time to wrap it
To
up.
wrap this up, actually, I want to go back to what we were talking about with political parties, because I think it's interesting how some nations can't function without them, and other nations are just full of independents who have vaguely similar ideas.
Yeah, it's definitely a fine line.
Ooh, Murph.
Once again.
What the fuck is?
Anyway, so
If you have any questions, raise your hand. But we're gonna be finishing up right here.
yeah,
So,
so
if you
just
wanna-
think of questions quickly before we go.
So, while we do this,
I think political parties are just interesting in general.
Yeah.
I mean, some nations are forcing you on them, which is okay, but others are not. So
other nations actually
personally-
force you to not have them, like Jefferson.
Murphy's probably
Yeah.
gonna pick me out of the fucking Catholic Church at this point. since
oh,
he's
he's gone. All right, well,
Okay.
thank you
Well,
for watching
that is
this
all for
first.
this. Oh yeah, you go ahead.
Well, thank you for watching this first episode of UBN and Friends. we're totally
I'll
not
take
doing
it.
this
I'll
because
do-
we
I'll
can't
do
think of
it.
anything else to do.
Yeah.
Okay,
Don't-
I'll do a better idea. I'll do a better idea. I'll do a better.
Okay. Don't forget.
Thank you all for watching this video. If you like it, press the like button in the face like a boss and high fives all around. And I'll see y'all in the next video.
Okay, yeah. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next
All
time.
right, yeah.
We all did
All
the
right,
outro,
thank you.
So that's like, you better like,
Yeah.
listener.
You better like.
Oh,
you
no.
better like.
We're gonna dab
Yeah, we're
on you or
copying
something.
Jacksepticeye.
Yeah, yeah.